Hey, what's up with this disgusting lunch you packed me? You added way too much salt for me to enjoy. Are you trying to make your husband suffer with this salty meal? What's the matter with you?
I'm sorry, Sean. I've had a stuffy nose since this morning, so I couldn't properly do a taste test. But still, I made your lunch despite my sore throat and fever, so please forgive me.
I didn't ask for your sorry excuses. I can't believe that you'd given your husband a disgusting lunch like this without a second thought.
I tried the best I could despite my body not being at its best. Sean, could I just take it easy for the rest of the day today? I'm sure if I just lay down for a while, my fever will go down.
When I'm over here working hard, my wife wants to lie down and take a nap. What makes you think that I would ever allow something like that?
But I'm not feeling all that good today. I can't clean or do the laundry, let alone get dinner ready. Would you mind eating out somewhere on your way home today?
Enough with your excuses. It doesn't matter how sick you are, you should be able to do simple house chores. You're a housewife. The only reason you're able to live the life you currently live is thanks to me. Stop trying to slack off and get to work.
I do have a fever, though. If I just get some rest today, I promise to do everything I couldn't do tomorrow. So please, just let me get some rest.
How many times do I have to tell you to stop with the excuses? I won't allow you to relax while I'm out here working. You are here to keep doing your job, no matter how high your temperature is. That is an absolute order from your husband. If your fever goes down, then I'll know that you are resting.
Millie, I can't sit back any longer and watch you mistreat my son. How much of a self-centered person can you be? You're able to live comfortably thanks to my son. You should be able to do something as simple as house chores. Catherine, it's been a while. May I ask why you're so angry? I'm angry because of you, Missy. You can't even understand something as simple as that? You're completely useless. Me? I don't want to be the type to be telling my son's wife off like this, which is why I've been so patient so far. But after you guys got married, you've been so full of yourself, I can't sit back and watch this any longer. What? Sean has been telling me about how you can't do simple chores properly. You can't even cook or clean properly. Apparently you've been slacking off with the cooking as well. He's been saying that about me? You didn't even make him lunch today and gave him instant noodles instead? I can't believe you'd stoop so low. Hang on a minute. I haven't done any of that. I do all the chores properly. I even made his lunch today. Although, today was a bit of a failure. That was all due to me feeling pretty sick today. I always make his lunches properly. My son has been telling me the opposite. It seems like you're slacking off as well today. What? It seems like you don't understand where you stand in this life. As a wife, you're supposed to respect your husband. You're able to live comfortably because of Sean. If you can't understand that, then obviously you need some lessons from me. It seems like you won't listen to anything I say, but will listen to anything Sean will say. Fine then. If that's how it is, then I'll take your lessons or whatever else you want. How rude! What is the matter with you? This is not how you should be talking to your mother-in-law. I'll let you lecture me tomorrow. Right now I have a 104-degree fever that I need to worry about. My head is gradually growing blank. Please just let me rest. I'll talk to you later, okay? Wait! 104? You were feeling that sick? If that was the case, then you should have said so earlier. Your son didn't tell you? The reason why I was slacking off all day today was due to my fever. What? Despite that, I did try to make his lunch for today, but I guess after complaining to me that it was too salty, he went and bought instant noodles. I wonder if he threw out the food I made him. You made him lunch, even though you were this sick? He didn't tell me anything about that. He just said that you didn't make him anything, so he had to go out and buy some noodles from the nearby store. It seems like he's been telling you a variety of things about me. I'm sorry, but I don't have the strength to defend myself against these allegations right now. I do need to rest now, so I'll talk to you later. We'll worry about that later. We should first do something about that fever of yours. What is going on here? This is completely different from what I've been hearing. Millie, if there's anything you need me to pick up for you, you just let me know, okay? Sean's at work, so you can rely on me. Sean, let me in. Why did you kick me out of the house so suddenly? Did I say something weird while I was asleep?
Your coughing was way too annoying. It's midnight and yet you're loudly coughing away. Your husband can't sleep through all the noise you're making.
I'm sorry, but I can't do anything about coughing.
If you can't do anything about it, then you can just stay outside. There, problem was solved. You can cough all you want outside and you won't be a disturbance to anyone else.
What? You're telling me that I have to spend the entire night outside, but I'm sick. I have a fever of 104, you know.
If that's the case, then this is a perfect chance for you to cool down. It's cold enough outside, so you should be able to cool down your body properly.
You're kidding.
I have work tomorrow. I'm part of an important group, so I can't take the day off. I can't risk getting sick from you. For the sake of your husband's health, you need to stay outside all night.
You'd kick your sick wife outside in the cold like this? You're not even the slightest bit worried? You're so cruel, Sean.
What are you talking about? When I came home, you were done with all the chores, and you managed to make me dinner. You just made up the excuse of your fever just so that you could slack off.
What did you say?
Oh, brother, this sucks. Thanks to you, I'm still awake this late at night. I have to wake up early, so I'm gonna sleep now. Make sure to cool down throughout the night. Millie, where in the world are you? You're home, aren't you?
Huh?
Your husband decided to be nice and wake up early to let you back in the house, but you were nowhere to be seen. Because of you, I had to buy my breakfast from the corner store.
You locked your wife out all night. Don't you have something that you would like to say about that? You're not going to ask how I'm doing or apologize for what you did yesterday?
Huh? Why would I apologize to you? If anything, you should be apologizing to me. Interrupting my sleep with your loud coughing all night. Then you disappear without making me breakfast or lunch.
What?
You need to be more grateful to me. I mean, because I locked you out all night, your fever should have gone down by now, right? Are you feeling all better now? If that's the case, then you have no reason to be slacking off on your chores now.
Your wife is no longer here.
What?
Millie is no longer your wife. I made her file for your guys' divorce. If you know what's good for you, then you'll leave her alone for the rest of your life.
Forced her to file for divorce? What's that all about? If anything, who are you? A friend trying to play hero for a damsel in distress?
Wrong. I'm her mother-in-law, otherwise known as your mother. Sean, what have you been doing to that poor girl?
What? Mom?
I haven't been able to control my anger all night long. What heartless person would throw a person who is obviously very sick outside in the cold all night long? I have no recollection of raising you to behave this way.
Wait, why are you there with her? Why are you on her phone?
I have been taking care of Millie since last night when you locked her out. She called me out of nowhere last night, asked for my help, and then lost connection. When I rushed over to the house, where she was unconscious outside, I thought I was going to have a heart attack looking at the scene in front of me.
What?
The door to the house was locked, and I saw the text messages sent between you and her. From there, I got the gist of what happened and immediately took her to the hospital. She was hospitalized all night and was discharged earlier this morning. From there, I encouraged her to file for divorce immediately.
Why would you do that? I'm glad that you went through all the trouble to help out my wife, but still, why would you force a divorce into this situation?
That's because it was what I thought would be best for her. I did nothing wrong in this.
For Millie? Oh, is it for this wife training thing you forced a divorce so that she would understand how grateful she should be for me, right? Thanks, Mom. You're the best. Just keep teaching her all the important things. She sucks at doing any of the chores. She's by far the worst wife ever.
Huh? What are you talking about? Where is this horrible wife you're talking about? Because I know that Millie is definitely not one. She does everything perfectly and hasn't taken one single day off to take care of herself. If anything, it's amazing how she didn't get sick earlier.
What?
The reason why I told her to file for divorce is for her to be free from you. When I believed everything you said about her, I handed you the papers to file for divorce, right? I told you to sign it so that you can hand it over at any given time. I never imagined that it would have to be used like this.
What are you talking about, Mom? It seems like you're mad at me rather than at Millie.
I've gone way past anger now, and I've just settled in pure disbelief over this entire situation. I can't believe that you were lying to me this whole time. This whole time you complained about how useless she was, but after hearing Millie out, it was completely the opposite.
What?
I was too worried about her health yesterday and decided to go check on her. And what I saw was her doing all the chores even though she had such a high fever. I couldn't stand by and watch, so I did all the rest of the tasks for her.
Really?
I can't forgive you for what you've done as a woman and a wife. You completely abuse your position as a husband against your wife and lie to your mother. What is it that you were trying to achieve by doing all this?
Calm down, Mom. You've got it all wrong here. I was doing all this for Millie's sake.
Huh?
I respect you a lot, Mom. You gave your all for your family. You were the example I wanted as a mother and the example of the perfect wife. So in order for her to be just like you, I was being all mean to her on purpose. I thought that her skills would improve more that way.
That was completely pointless, seeing as how perfectly she does everything. It was apparent when I visited her yesterday. She does her best every single day.
Oh, you don't get it. She's pretty bad at cooking. Compared to you, her cooking is so bad. My favorite fried chicken especially tastes horrible when she makes it. I keep telling her to make it as good as you do, but she doesn't improve in the slightest.
You had a favorite dish? Why didn't you say so earlier? I got those from a nearby restaurant that specializes in chicken.
Wait for the chicken place. Those were all from there?
Yep, at first. I tried a bunch of ways to make my chicken taste good, but then one day, when I wasn't feeling all too well, I decided to buy some from there and served it out for dinner. You finished those chickens way faster than any of the ones I've made. You even said that you love those, so I started to buy chicken from them every time.
What?
I just reheat and sometimes refry them just before dinner. If anything, your favorite curry dishes and hamburgers are also just takeout from the nearby stores.
Really?
No matter how much effort I put into cooking, if my child says that he prefers that over my own, then what else is there to do? I eventually gave up on being perfect at chores. I started to see them as a hassle more and more.
Millie makes everything but the chicken really good. She never even had takeout for dinner since we got married.
And yet you threw her outside and locked the door. Unbelievable. She's going to be spending a few days with me. In the meantime, you are not allowed anywhere near us.
Millie, where are you? Please come back home to me.
Never. Thanks to your mother, I finally was able to get a divorce. I don't want you ever to be in control of my life ever again.
What do you mean by that? Sure, I was a bit harsh to you and all, but I still did my job as a husband and supported you.
Huh?
I promised to fix my attitude towards you, so please come back to me. You've gotten better and left my parents' house already, right? I don't know where you are now, but please come back. I can't live without you here with me.
You complained about me being useless all the time to people, and now all of a sudden you can't live without me the moment I'm gone?
Well, that's because I don't know how to cook or clean. I've been eating takeout this whole time, and now the house is a mess. All the laundry is all wrinkled, and I don't have a clean shirt to wear to work tomorrow.
I have no intention of being your maid anymore. If that's what you want, then you can go hire one that'll do everything perfectly. Or, better yet, find a healthy wife who won't ever get sick.
Look for a maid to hire, but they all cost so much money. I tried using dating apps and got women to come over, but the moment they saw the trash-filled house, they all left. There's no way I can get remarried like this.
You don't want to spend money, but you want them to do the chores? You're such a horrible person.
You were doing it for me. This time I promise to be more helpful, so please. I'll even give you an allowance. So please, come back to me. My parents abandoned me, and now I don't have anyone I can rely on.
Your parents abandoned you?
I heard that you left my place, so I figured that it was finally my chance to go home, so I rushed over to them. But both my mom and dad sprayed me down with a hose and disowned me right there. Claiming that they don't want a son as embarrassing as I am.
Oh my. Those two were that mad, huh? Maybe I spoke too much about our married life to them.
Please, Millie, I'm begging you. Let's get back together. I promise to cherish you this time. You're struggling from being a full-time housewife to having to provide on your own, right?
Yeah, it's a bit hard, but I'm having fun, so it's fine. Thanks to your mother, I managed to fully recover and found a job immediately. The manager there is so nice and handsome. I can't help but want to be around him all the time.
What? It's only been a month since we got a divorce. You're moving on to a different man already?
Women can recover quickly, you know. So would you mind leaving me alone? To me, you're just a horrible ex-husband from the past. I don't care a single bit what a man like you is doing.
But...
Goodbye, Sean. Hopefully, you'll be able to make your favorite dishes on your own. After that, I haven't gotten a single message from my ex-husband. If anything, I got all the money that I was due from our divorce the next day, so I'm guessing that his mother had something to do with all this. Every once in a while, she sends me a text checking up on me. If Sean hadn't been lying about me, then maybe we could have gotten along better than the relationship we have now. As for Sean, it seems like he has tried multiple times to get back in his parents' good graces, but they hose him down with water each time. He eventually started attending a class for house chores, but then told the teacher there that she should be doing his chores, which resulted in him getting banned from there. The encounter between them got spread all over social media, and now he is seen as a man who can't do simple tasks nationwide.
Mom? Hey, where did you go? Right now, Dad is looking all over for you.
Huh? Is this you, Ed? Are you using your dad's phone again to try and text me?
Well, Mom, I don't have a phone of my own to text you from, so I had to take his.
And a boy in 5th grade doesn't need to have a smartphone at his age, right?
I know that, but Dad told me that when I needed to talk with someone else in the family while they are out, I could use his phone and text. Also, Dad had a small accident with his hand, right? And so he can't use his hand to text you right now.
Yeah. I knew that man was going to care more about you than anyone else. But if he really wants to spoil someone, he's better off doing that with my daughter, who looks just like me, since she is definitely the better looking one of you two.
You're talking about Avery, right?
Yes, that's right. You already know that I'm in love with all things that are both cute and beautiful. And that's why I'm only in love with your cute older sister, Avery.
Mom?
Just a second ago, you had asked me where I am right now, right? Well, I'm at the airport right now.
The airport?
I'm going to be taking your sister to France with me, and she's going to become a supermodel with the help of her mom.
She's going to become a supermodel in France?
I'm going to take her to Paris with me, and we'll find her a modeling agency who will take great care of her. And you are far too ugly to be a kid of my own, so I won't be needing you anymore. Well, you only ever ended up as a kid of mine because your dad brought you along with him in the marriage, so I don't even have to call you a part of my family anymore. So please don't think anything bad of this, okay?
Dad is asking, have you filed out any diverse paperwork yet?
Tell him that the paperwork is sitting on the coffee table in the living room.
Alright. Well then that's fine with me, is what he said.
Huh?
Well, Dad just said that about you a second ago, but I feel the same way about you as well now. Have fun in France, Mom. Bye-bye.
Hello, Ed? This is your phone number, right, Ed?
And who am I speaking to right now?
This is your mom, Andrea.
What?
I've heard about how you've been doing so well for yourself, Ed. So now you can look up to me as your mom since I was able to get you to this point, and I can feel good about myself again as well.
I'm sorry to say this, but I don't believe I'm speaking with my mom right now.
Well, it has been 10 years since we last met, and I'm sure my number is different from the one I had back in those days. But look, I'm your mom. And if you're wondering how I got your number, I was able to get it from your aunt. Your aunt was kind enough to tell me that you're getting into the showbiz yourself there, huh? And that you'll be going into Hollywood for your debut, right?
That freaking dog. She's really gone and done it now.
Hey, come on now. You should not be speaking about your aunt in that manner, okay? It's because of her that I'm finally able to talk to you again, and you can finally speak with your mother once more. I bet you're so happy to finally hear from your mom again after 10 long years of waiting, right?
But I already told you, this is not my mom's number that I'm currently speaking to. Also know that she has only one phone and she's never told me nor anyone else that she has another. So tell me, what the hell do you want?
Come on, Ed. You don't have to give me such a cold shoulder. I know it's been a long time since you've heard from me, but you should still know how to talk to your own mother, right?
Look, can you quit it with all that BS?
Huh?
Are you kidding me? Can you not tell by the way I'm talking to you right now that I don't see you as my mother anymore and that I never want to again?
Huh?
You and that girl of yours, both Dad and I don't care about you guys. And all you do is bring back our bad memories by talking to me again. So go the hell away. And never try texting or calling me again.
Ed! This drama that I'm watching right now, I can tell just by looking at your face that you're the one playing the rival to the main character, right? I saw your name in the opening credits, and that face of yours is the same as when you were back in 5th grade. I totally get it now. Back in the day, you were a bit of an ugly duckling, but now that you've grown into a young adult, I have to say that you are one handsome-looking gentleman. Amazing. So you really are my son after all.
Ugh. You're texting me again?
Hey! Do you really think that's the right way to talk to your own mother? It's not. So you'd better start talking to me in a polite manner from now on.
You're not my mom. And that is why I'm talking to you like the annoyance you really are.
All right already, all right. I get it that it's because of me that you've become this amazing little actor. It's because of all that wishing and praying that I did to have a child of mine turn into an actor that you've become such an amazing person, right?
Seriously?
And compared to you, your older sister Avery, well, let's just say she's not doing as great.
What's happened to Avery?
Well, her and I are coming back to the States soon.
Weren't you and her trying your hardest to get her to become a supermodel or something?
Well, that didn't ever really turn into anything more than just a dream. I thought for sure that since she's a natural beauty, she'd be able to make it in one of those agencies over there, but of course, those French have a different idea of who's beautiful or not. So in the end, any agency we went to never gave her a chance to model, and any private work she tried never ended up being scouted. And what's worse is after failure, she began to eat a lot more bread and stuff to fight the stress. And let's just say she's gained a few pounds. Really, she's no longer a beauty whatsoever, but rather the definition of an obese person. Seriously, I cannot use her at all now. But this is why, to me, you are the perfect son any mother could ever ask for. My prayers were finally heard, and you turned into the most handsome-looking young man imaginable.
Well, I didn't get this far because of you.
Huh?
The only reason I've become an actor is because I wanted to become one, so I put in the effort to get to where I am now. To tell you the truth, it's supposed to be the manager's job to be here with me to help me diet and make sure I stay up to date on roles, right? Well, you haven't been here for me these past 10 years, nor have you ever been my manager, so screw you.
Huh?
Also, people don't just make it in a modeling or acting business by looking good.
Ed!
You have to be able to act as well, whether it's on stage or in the studio. And you have to be able to work to become the character you want to be, which takes weeks to perfect.
Wait a minute.
So you have no right coming to me acting as though you've put any work or care into me? Therefore, please, for God's sake, just leave me the hell alone so that you don't cause me any headaches anymore. Seriously, stop talking to me. I'm not messing around right now.
Seriously, Ed? Don't you think you're going a little too far with all this after having blocked your own mother's number now?
Are you kidding me?
I had my phone number changed so that I could get in touch with you again.
I told you already, stop trying to get in touch with me anymore.
Oh my. Well, why would I ever want to stop talking to my son? Are you really sure you want me to stay away from you even longer than I already have? I plan to become your manager soon so that you can become even more famous.
What?
You don't have to try and keep me at bay anymore. I promise that I'll do everything in my power to make sure you get as many roles as you'd like. And if you're worried about me having any experience, just know that I've been the manager for Avery for the past 10 years, and I did a wonderful job at it.
By wonderful, do you mean you failed her on multiple occasions, and that's why you're back?
Huh?
As from what you've told me, you didn't take Avery anywhere as her manager, and only led her to becoming fat and sad about her life. You told me that yourself the last time we chatted about her.
Well, that was something else. It had nothing to do with me as her manager, rather do with her way of thinking. She didn't have the drive she needed to become a supermodel, and that's why things didn't work out for her. But you're different. I know that with my help, I can take you to the top.
Well, I'm already on my way there.
Huh?
My manager happens to be one of the most well-known in the Hollywood world, and she also happens to be my mom.
Your mom? Ah, right. So this is your way of saying that you want me to be your manager, right? Understood, Eddie. I'll make sure to make you huge in Hollywood, and make sure that you and I never have to worry about falling out of the spotlight ever again.
Wrong. I'm talking about how I already have a manager and mother, and she's not you.
What? What do you mean by that?
My dad happened to get remarried about 8 years ago.
Huh?
And not only did Dad end up getting remarried, but he did so with a woman who he ended up having a baby girl with. And she has the most beautiful face and figure. But unlike you, she's not the kind of person to only care about those that are attractive looking, and is willing to love everyone in her family very much. And so because of her warmth, I've been able to forget about the cold past that I had with you as my mother, and can now live a new life as a successful man.
That man, he got remarried to a new woman? And not just that, but had a girl with her?
And that's why I've been saying that you're not my mother this whole time. It's been 10 years since you left Dad and I, so I have zero clue why you're back here now trying to talk to me like you ever cared about my family. But if you really think that you have any chance of getting back into this family as my dad's wife, then you're strictly mistaken, as there's zero chance of that happening now.
What?
That's what I thought.
I have no other choice right now. 10 years ago, my dad, who was a very wealthy person, passed away. And of course, after his death, I received a lot of that money in his will from him. And when that money came to me, I thought it would be the perfect chance for me to get my daughter to become a famous model. And that's why I took her with me to France and started to make her model.
I see. So that's what Dad was explaining to me about after you left us?
During the first year, I was never able to land her any modeling gigs, and so I just thought that was a part of the industry. And since she didn't have a name for herself yet, I decided it would be better for the two of us to start conforming to life there first before getting into modeling. But then it was 2 years, and then 3 years, and time just kept on going without us ever seeing any real work come for us. And during that time, Avery graduated from an international high school there. That was the moment I thought she'd really put all her time into modeling, without the need to study, but I was wrong. But then I started to really have a closer look at her, and it appeared to me she already gave up. And the food there had gotten the best of her. She was no longer the beautiful young woman I pictured her as, rather a model for some weight loss ad. And it wasn't just that. I noticed that a lot of the money from my father had dwindled away, and so I had to make the choice to bring us back to the U.S.
What?
The house that your sister and I had been planning on living in is no longer there for us. And so right now, we don't have a place to go home to.
Right. Currently, your mom is in an elderly home, spending the last couple of years of her life being cared for by the nurses there.
What?
I heard from her that she used the money left over by her husband and the money from the house when she sold it to get into a really nice home where there are all sorts of amenities for her.
You're kidding. So that means there really is no place for us to go?
And that's not all, actually. You ended up taking your daughter away with you to another country, even though she never really wanted to. And while there, you used up not only your own money that you received from your late dad, but also the money that was supposed to be left for her. There were apparently a few other people that were supposed to get the money from your late father, who never did because of you.
What are you talking about? Where is my mom right now?
I have no clue where she chose to go, besides that it's good for her.
What?
So far, everything I've been telling you has been okay to tell you, as the other parties involved don't seem to mind you knowing. But even if I did know more about your mom, I wouldn't tell you, as she never gave me the permission to.
Hold on a second. If you're not going to tell us where she is, how are Avery and I going to live?
Think about that one yourself, Andrea.
Huh?
There's another thing. As for that aunt of mine that ended up causing you to learn about my current situation in the first place, the whole family has stopped talking to her. So if you're trying to go for her for more information regarding me, you won't learn anything more than you already know.
Huh?
Now, I have to get ready to head into the studio for another session of takes, so I'll be going now.
Huh? Wait a second, Ed!
I'm blocking you again.
Right now I'm stuck in a cheap motel with Avery, and we don't have much money left to keep us here. When it's all gone, we'll have to move into the streets. Hey, I'm only asking you this one time to please give me a place to live, just for a little bit. Ed!
There was one last thing that I never ended up explaining to Andrea, and it all had to do with the information that was left over regarding her late father's money and assets, and who they all went to. On that sheet of paper, she could probably take a closer look at it and learn where her mother ran off to, had she just taken the time to do so. Of course, Andrea or Avery could still think of that as an option and take a look for themselves, but I was never gonna recommend that to her, as I just don't care about either of them. So whatever happens next with those three will be left unknown to me. And a couple days later, Andrea and Avery both appeared to have figured out where I was currently working in Hollywood and came to find me. But of course I told security of this, and they made sure to stay on the lookout for these two. And when they were spotted around the studio, security called the police, who then came and grabbed the two of them, where they later found some information on distant relatives of them who they ended up calling to come get them. And within a day, a black minivan pulled up outside the police station to pick those two up, and then they were gone for good. My dad later called me to tell me that distant relative was Andrea's younger sister, who ended up taking those two into her company to work for her, day and night, for the rest of their lives. It was such a relief to learn that Andrea and Avery could no longer touch any of us anymore, and ever since then, I've been able to live in peace. Thank you so much for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.